Alright guys, you're welcome to our next tutorial in the Python tutorial series. But like we said at the beginning of this tutorial series, the essence of we going through the Python tutorial is for us to actually be able to understand the codes in PyTorch and in TensorFlow. So now we have completed, at least we have a basic understanding of how classes are written in Python, and we know some of the structure of how the codes are generally written. So we want to use the knowledge that we have learned in Python classes to see whether we can understand other people's codes. So, and we'll be looking at PyTorch and TensorFlow codes, which has a Python-like structure, and see whether we can figure out and make sense of other standard codes that other people have written that we didn't write ourselves, because we expect that everybody will follow the object-oriented programming paradigm. So now this is PyTorch. We are not really interested in what the PyTorch code is doing. Here it's doing an object detection, but that's not our interest. But we just want to go through the code and see whether we can just figure out what is happening in the code by virtue of some of the things we have learned. So you can quickly see that these places look very, very familiar to us now. We see import OS, that means there must be a module called OS somewhere. And so there's a file that is called os.py. There's a file called numpy.file. You can quickly see the alias which we used before. There's another file called torch.py. You see here that's it, from PO import image. That tells us something. So it means that we're importing from a particular word module called PIL, and we're importing a class called image. You can see the convention, the capital I tells us that this image will be a class. Alright, so and then you see here they are defining a class called pen funder dataset. You can see the camel case format structure that we mentioned before. You see they are following that format, that you capitalize the first letter of every word when you're writing your class name. And you can see here that this tells us that this is inheriting from another class called objects. So we can quickly see that. You see here we're seeing our init method. We're used to the init method where we declare the attributes that are necessary for the class. You can see the roots, you can see the convention. We take the root and the transform. So we can quickly see using the self to create the attribute for every object that is instantiated from that class. You can see here that we also have some attributes, extra attributes that are not coming from the init. You see IMGS and math. You can quickly see that. So in the next tutorial we'll understand about the files part list directly. So you can quickly see how the OS is being used here. You see it means that inside the OS module we have a function called list directly. How do we know it's a function? Because it's written in small letters. Just like we said, the convention should be small letters for functions. And you can see again here, you see os.paths that join. So that is beginning to give us a clear of what is going on. So this is a special type of function that looks like the init. So we're beginning to understand it. This is another kind of function that looks like the init. So we're beginning to understand what's going on. You see here from import touch vision, there is a module called touchvision.py somewhere, and it's just importing the entire module. Yeah, it's importing a specific class from this module called touchvision.models.detect. So we're beginning to see how things. You see, this is assigning a value to this. So it's beginning to see what is have an understanding of, okay, this must be a class, this is a modules that have been imported. Just for us to have a rough idea of what's going on. So this and this must be a class, this must be a class, this is a module, this is a module, this is a module. That's just what's happening there. So let's see that also in TensorFlow. You can quickly see this an alias, then that means there's a module called TensorFlow.py somewhere, and you can see again from TensorFlow, that is from that module, we are importing keras. So this keras, the way it is, you say that, okay, this must be a function, okay? So because this is written in small letter, so you might begin to imagine, okay, from keras, from TensorFlow import keras, maybe this is a function, just to begin to have idea of it if they follow the pattern. So import numpy as MP, so you're importing the entire module as MP, and here this is a module import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, so this is the alias. So we begin to see the same pattern in other people's code when they write their code. We begin to see that happen. So just to give us an idea, so you see here now, they are now using the keras to call, so it tells us that this must be a module. This is not a class, so this must be a module, and this sequential is actually a class. So there's a class called sequential, and we are importing these keras from TensorFlow. So it's like importing another module from so it's like importing keras module from TensorFlow module, kind of. So we just have the rough idea. Until we check the TensorFlow.py, we will be able to get a better understanding of what's happening there. But mere just looking at the front end code, we can see that, okay, this is definitely a class because it's starting with capital S, and that class is residing inside the module keras, and these are the necessary parameters that it requires. So you see here that you have this model.compile. So this compile must be a method. So this is a method. How do we know? Because we are having a small letter C. Yeah, starting with, they are all small letter. Why in this case this sequential is a class? Because it's starting in capital S. Even though we didn't see the code, we can just quickly know. And you can even see here that this is another class. So this is taking actually classes as its parameters. That's interesting. So it's taking classes, and those classes is inside the module keras, and layers is inside the flatten is inside module layers is inside module keras. So you see the way it's nested, kind of a thing. So we're beginning to have an understanding of what's going on. But in this case, this is actually a method compile, and it's taking all these parameters. Yeah. So just to give us this is another method called fit. So this is another method called evaluate. So we begin to have a rough idea of how other people write their code, just like the way we went through our classes, and we're able to understand the importing, the way we import in that we went through before in our different classes. And we say, okay, you can import car. Okay, from car module we are importing electric car. So you can see that in here this is a class. So the same thing where we see in other people's code. So here we are importing the module car, the entire module. Here we are importing all the classes and functions inside the module name, and so it's just beginning to come up alive just for us to see. And you can see the alias too that we mentioned before. So thank you very much for listening. Hope we'll begin to now be able to interpret other people's code more easily and be able to know, okay, these are definitely modules, this is definitely a class, then begin to know how things are nested and have a better way of understanding other people's code. Thank you. Do let us know how well you have benefited from this, and do give us a like, and see you in the next one. Thank you.